Hello and welcome to the Music Survival Guide, the independent musician's guide on how to survive in the music industry. My name is Phil, a mixing and mastering engineer. Well, I hope you're all okay out there. It's December, we're here. It's basically the end of the year. I mean, in my mind, it's basically the end of the year. When you get to the last month of the year, that's sort of in my mind, is that it? It's like, okay, cool, we're basically there. And I wanted to talk about quite a big topic that I think is really, really important for this kind of time of year, which is evaluating your musical year. Sounds very pretentious, but it doesn't have to be. Basically, I'm telling you, take some time, stop and think. If it's helpful to you, write it down. I think it's helpful to a lot of people to write things down, to be honest. I really benefit from writing stuff down, even if I never read it again. Anyway, take some time, think, and answer these questions for yourself. I think it's going to be really, really helpful for you to work out what's been good about this year, what's been bad about this year, and what you can do better. That's essentially the point of this. So here's some questions for you to consider. And again, take some time, pause, write them down, whatever you feel comfortable doing to help you kind of get through this. I think this is going to be really, really helpful for you. Question number one, and I think this is a question you might not obviously think of. Were there any standout moments from your year? Was there a moment where when you look back, you go, wow, that was really cool. That particular thing was a highlight. The moment that I cracked that song was great. The moment that we did that gig was great. Put out that song, recorded this thing, whatever it may be. What is that for you? What was that? Picture it, visualize it, think about it, how amazing it was. That is something that's really important to consider, and I don't think a lot of people do. Question number two, and I feel like I'm reading out an exam. It's not really like that. How did you get on with your goals, if you had any? So did you have SMART goals? I've got an episode previously about SMART goals. Really good idea is SMART goals. They're a bit businessy, but they're really useful. How did you get on with them? Did you meet your goals, or maybe were your goals actually a bit woolly and a bit vague and a bit kind of hard to define what counts as success, what doesn't count as success? How did you get on with them? How did that go? Question number three, did you accomplish what you set out to do? Now, that's quite a difficult question. So if you said, by the end of the year, we want to put out an album, have you put out an album, or are you very nearly putting out an album? December's probably not the best time to put out an album, but how did that go? How did that goal go? Did you accomplish what you set out to do? Have you, got a half an hour set list together if you've only just setting out, that kind of thing? How did that go for you? Question number four. What worked really well this year? Was there a particular rehearsal strategy that you took as a band, or a kind of personal practice thing that you did, sort of songwriting approach to getting gigs or gig etiquette, whatever it may be? What worked really well this year? That is a really, really important takeaway. What has gone well for you? Because if you don't think about that, you won't necessarily think to take it on, or you might accidentally forget and move on. This is all really helpful stuff for working out what your 2024 could or even should look like musically. And then the converse question, what didn't work as hoped? So, I don't know, let's say you kind of had an approach where you wanted to talk to 5 or 6 promoters and hopefully get a gig with each of them, kind of get your foot in the door, and it didn't work with, say, all bar one. Why? What happened there? And what can you do to make that better? That's a really important thing. How can you sort out the problem? What didn't work as hoped? I don't think I need to say any more about that. The next question, because I've forgotten what the numbers are, what should you do more of? And then therefore, what should you do less of? So, for example, do you want to release more music because you found actually that really increased your fan base and really increased the amount of people coming to your gigs? Or do you find, say, weekly rehearsals aren't really working for you as a band and you want to move to, say, fortnightly or even monthly rehearsals? That kind of question is really worth considering. Other questions on a similar line, social media. Which ones are working for you? Which ones are not working for you? Which ones are you using just because you think you should rather than it's going well? For example, this year, for me, I stopped using TikTok. I've still got it. It's still there. I don't really check it, but, because all my notifications are off. But it's still there. I don't really post on it because I found it didn't do anything for me. So that kind of thing is worth considering as well. Are you just wasting your time with particular pieces of social media that aren't working for you? Worth considering. And the final question, any tips or tricks to share? I think it's really important with all this kind of stuff to go away and talk to someone, whether it's someone in the band or someone kind of musical who's external to the band, who's a friend of yours or whatever it may be. Go and talk to them about your experiences, talk to them about how it's been, and then you can share tips and tricks, and he or she can do the same with you if you both do this evaluation thing. I think it's a really healthy and helpful way to do things. When you talk about these things with people, that's when you can get some real breakthroughs. Taking some time to think and reflect is really useful, but then taking that information, taking that learning and going, right, I'm going to go talk to whoever, a trusted friend, a musician friend, whoever it may be, and go and talk to them about what I've learned about myself. And they can go, right, okay, I've learned this about myself. And then between you can go, oh, actually, I hadn't thought about that. I hadn't considered that element of being a musician, wherever it may be. And that can be really, really helpful. So don't discount that last point. Any tips or tricks you can share with a friend. So that's it for my ramble this week. So it just leaves me to say thank you for listening to another episode of the Music Survival Guide. If you liked it, please rate and review the podcast wherever you listen. It all helps the algorithm to kind of push people our way, which is always nice. Please also share it with any friends or bandmates if you thought it was helpful. If you want to do an evaluation as a band separately and maybe come together and put that all together, that could be really, really helpful exercise. That could really boost you into 2024, working out what you should and shouldn't be doing and pushing for. If you're thinking about recording or mixing and you want to talk about it, please feel free to reach out to me via the links in the podcast description below, and that'd be really cool. I'd love to have a chat with you about music and stuff like that. And otherwise, I will see you next time.